This video will show you how to complete page 21 out of your math book. I'm going to go ahead and read you the lesson summary. So these are steps to solving for unknown angles. First, you got to identify the angle relationships. Examine those angles and see what information is provided that will help you figure out the measurements of the unknown angles that they're asking for. Then you want to set up an equation that will give you the unknown value. So are there vertical angles on there, supplementary angles, angles on a line, angles at a point, complementary angles? Set up an equation that will help you find the things that they're asking you to find, okay, based on what you know about those angle relationships. So you'll solve that equation for the unknown value, and then don't forget at the very end, once you get your variable, you're going to substitute it back in to find the measurement of those degrees. And the last little step says check and verify your answer by measuring the angle with the protractor. Unfortunately, since these are photocopies, if you do measure this with a protractor, it might be slightly off just because of how the copy machine might alter the picture just a tiny bit. So that last little step you don't have to do, okay? All right, so two lines meet at a point. Here's a line, they meet at this point. Set up and solve an equation to find the value of x. So we gotta find this value of x, okay? So first off, we gotta identify some angle relationships here. Well, I see that these right here, they appear to be vertical to each other, but we're gonna do the trace thing. I wanna see, hey, is this 72-degree angle vertical to this? Let's tracey trace, make sure it's straight. You're doing a straight line, okay, that's a straight line. And so far it matches half. These halves match, okay, and then straight, 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 straight. Okay, see how they perfectly matched up? So these angles are vertical to each other, and the special thing about vertical angles is they're always going to be congruent. So I can go ahead and set up an equation. So 72 is equal to this x plus 15. And you're looking at that parentheses, and you'll notice there's no number in front of the parentheses, so you don't have to distribute a number through. And there's also no symbol, like a plus or a minus in front of those parentheses, so you don't have to distribute that through either. So just drop the parentheses, and then you'll have your expression. X plus 15 plus 72 equals, x plus 15 equals 72 degrees because they are vertical angles to each other. 72 is equal to x plus 15. See how they're vertical? This is going to equal this. So that's where I came up with that, okay? It is in a format to where I can build it to solve it. We start with x and we just added 15 to it. Inverse operation of adding 15 is to subtract 15, so that's what we'll do to both sides of that equal sign. 15 subtract 15 is 0. We're left with x equals whatever 72 minus 15 is, and that's 57. Okay, we answered it. Find the value of x. But I always want you to substitute it back in. So this degree measure, I just have to go 57 plus 15, and that equals 72 degrees. So look, see, that's 72 degrees. Ta-da! Okay, the next question says, 3 lines meet at a point. So here's a line, 1, 2, 3 lines, and they meet up at a point. Set up and solve an equation to find the value of A. Is your answer reasonable? Explain how you know. Okay, so we'll just do a verbal explanation of why our answer would be reasonable instead of writing it all out. So let's identify some relationships here. Well, let's see. I know that these 3 angles would be angles on a line because they, they're arcs. When you connect them, form a half circle right there, and they're on a line. But I'm missing this guy right here, but I have a hunch that this is vertical to this, but I'm going to trace to make sure that they're straight across from each other. Okay, so far this matches this side. I'm going to trace this other side of that angle A. Look, it was straight, straight. So this is vertical to this, meaning that this little angle right here is 8 degrees. So now I can go ahead and solve for A because now I have the missing piece of this little puzzle here. So 78 plus A plus, what does that say, 52, have a sum of 180 degrees. So I'm going to write that equation out. 78 plus A plus that 52 equals 180. Okay, let's combine like terms before we build it in order to solve it, okay? So I have a constant of 78 and a constant of a positive 52. When I add those two together, I get 130. Bring down my plus A, bring down your equal sign, and bring down your 180. Now build it. We start with A, then we just added 130 to it. 100 plus 130. Okay? Inverse operation of adding 130 is to subtract 130, and that's what you do to both sides of that equal sign. 130 minus 130 is 0. 180 minus 130 is 50. So A is equal to 50. We answered that part of the question, but yeah, I want you to still substitute it here. So yeah, this right here, I just have to slap on a degree sign on it. So that's 50 degrees, and if that's 50 degrees, this is also 50 degrees. Okay? Now on to the next question. Two lines meet at a point that is also the endpoint of two rays. Set up and solve an equation to find the values of A and B. So just looking right here, there's a lot kind of going on. And I know that, oh, this right here is 90 degrees because of the box. And so this angle plus this angle plus this angle, they're angles on a line, so they're going to have a sum of 180 degrees. So let's go ahead and set up an equation to find the measurement of angle A. And then we can go from there to figure out B, okay? So A plus 32 plus 90 equals 180, okay? Combine your like terms, which are the constants of 32 and that 90. Positive 32, positive 90. And that equals a positive 122. Bring down your A, bring down your equal sign, bring down your 180. Now build it. Start with A, then we just added 122 to it. Inverse operation of adding is subtracting, so we're going to subtract 122 from both sides of that equal sign. 122 minus 122 is 0, and 180 minus 122 is 58. A is equal to 58. Let's substitute that back in over here. Okay, and we just slapped on a degree sign. Okay, so now we need to examine the information to figure out what the measurement of angle B is. I see right here there's a straight line, so there's 180 degrees in a straight line. And this one shows me that it's 90. Okay, well, if this is 90, then this guy right here also has to be 90. Okay, because if the 90 plus 90 equals 180. Therefore, A plus B have to equal 90. They're complements of each other. The value of A is 58, so now we just got to find this missing B. 58 plus B equals 90, okay? So 58 right there from this plus B equals 90. Now let's build it and solve it. We start with B, and then all we did was just add 58 to it because that's a positive 58. Inverse operation of a plus 58 is a minus 58, so you're going to do that to both sides of that equal sign. 58 take away 58 is 0, so we're left with B is equal to whatever 90 minus 58 is. I think that's what, 32? So now we just substitute back in, so yeah, that's 32 degrees. Okay?